the amount of time from the start of an activity to the end of the activity is the elapsed time. So for example, we have Fatima and Clara who played checkers from 9:20 a.m. to 10:05 a.m. Approximately how much time, or what was the amount of time that took place between, is the elapsed time. And we would just find our time on our clock, 9:20. So here's our 9. Counting by 20, 5 takes us to 20. And now we're counting all the way around to 10:05. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And we can tell from 9:20 to 10 o'clock is going to be 40 minutes because an hour has 60 minutes. And 9:20 is already used up 20, so 60 minus 20 does give us that 40 minutes, plus another 5 after that, which would make it, plus 5, which would make it 45 minutes all together. So we're going to try a couple together. Here they drove to the Tyrrell Museum. They arrived at 10:08 a.m. They had to stand in line for 12 minutes before they were ready to go into the first exhibit. So what is 12 minutes later? I generally like to use 10-minute time periods or 5-minute time periods. So 12 I'm going to make into 10 minutes and 2 minutes. So 10 minutes from 10:08 is going to be 10:18, so 10 more. I'm going to add 2 more to that. That would make it 10:20. So our new time for when they went into the exhibit is 10:20 a.m. Let's take a look at another one. They took from 11:47 to 12:10 p.m. to read about T-Rex. So here we're not given the amount of time, but we're given the 2 times, and we have to figure out how much time took place in between. So again, I like to break it down into easy chunks. 11:47, so 47 to 11:50 is 3 minutes. And then from 11:50 to 12 o'clock is 10 minutes. Oops, I forgot the 3 over there. And then from 12 o'clock till 12:10 is another 10 minutes. So this is what we would add to get our time. 10 plus 10 is 20, plus 3 would make it about 23 minutes since that took place. All right, now you're going to press pause and you're going to try 2 on your own. All right, so we have Lena. She went to stand in line at the cafeteria. The time was 12:04. It took until 12:25 to get her order. How long did that take? Again, I like to break it down, especially when I'm counting in time, to 5s. So I'm going to take 12:04 to 12:05. Well, that's only 1 minute. Now I'm going to go from 12:05 to 12:20, which would make it 15 minutes. 5, 10, 15. 12:20 to 12:25 is another 5 minutes. Add those up. 1 plus 15 is 16, plus 5 is 21. So 21 minutes is how long it took for her to get her lunch. All right, so we have another problem. We have our time as being 1:05 p.m. and they were on the trail for 45 minutes. So we want to know the finishing time, what time they finished. So again, counting in 5s up to the 10. So 1:05 to 10 would make it 5 minutes there. 1:10 to 1:30, I'm going to go to the 30, would make it 20 minutes there. And you could keep going by 20s, or I'm going to go by 10s because I know often students like to go by 10s. So 1:30 to 1:40, that would be another 10 minutes. 1:40 to 1:50, another 10 minutes. 10 plus 10 is 20, plus 20 is 40, plus 5 is 45. So that would make this 45 minutes, which means that they finished their hike at 1:50. All right, assume we had this problem. Go ahead and press pause and try this one as well. All right, so if we had school starting at 8:35 and the assembly at 9:10, how many minutes would be in between? I'm going to count to my nearest 10. 8:35 to 8:40 is 5 minutes. 8:40 to 8:50 is another 10 minutes, 8:50 to 10 o'clock, another 10 minutes, and 9 o'clock to 9:10, another 10 minutes, 10, 20, 35, so a total of 35 minutes of waiting time. All right, now let's take a look at this problem. Say we were going on a field trip and we left at 9:42, and our field trip would be for 3.5 hours, 3.5 hours. How long would it be until we were back at school? Go ahead and try that one. Press pause and try that one. All right, let's take a look. So our field trip left at 9:42, 3.5 hours. So 3 hours is 3 hours, that's 60 minutes each hour, but a half of an hour, we need to know how much time that is. Well, half an hour is 30 minutes. So to start off with, I think I'm going to count by hours. 9:42 to 10:42, well, that's 1 hour. 10:42 to 11:42, that's our second hour. 11:42 to 12:42, that's 3 hours. So that means we've covered all of the hours as 3. Now we're going to go into the minutes. Well, 10:42 to 10:52, well, that's 10 minutes. Well, 12:52 to 1 o'clock, just because a clock is easier to work with, but that makes that only 8 minutes. 1 o'clock to 1:10, well, that's another 10 minutes. So let's see how many minutes I have now. I have 10 plus 10, which is 20, plus 8, so 28, but I need to get to 30, so I need 2 more minutes. 1:10 to 1:12 adds that 2 minutes. So now I have 10, 28, 26, 28, 29, 30. I have now 30 minutes. So my end time when we would return would be 1:12. All right, at this point you can go on to your concept practice. You are working with elapsed time. Numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let me check the page because I see I did not type it in correctly. So one moment. All right, page 137, 138. Sorry about that. Go ahead. Remember, if as you're working you have questions, that you ask.